Hey guys, it's Dekin from Team Crimson, and today we are going to be talking about some cards. Video by saying there is no stream this Friday, so I'm going to be covering last Friday's stream and Tuesday's stream. So during those streams we got some Angel Feather reveals and some Shadow Paladin reveals, and the following Tuesday that we have coming up, there is going to be Chaos Breaker Dragon and Jewel Knight Ashley being revealed. Tonight we should see some either a Royal Paladin card or a Link Joker card be revealed. I would assume so, and so on up until Tuesday's reveal, so that we have the full card set for that, kind of like how they are doing with the Battle Sisters, which I will be going over after. And then next Friday is going to be the Blood. So just to get into this, start off right away, we'll be going in order that the cards were revealed: Angel Feather, and then Shadow Paladin, and lastly I will cover the Oracle Think Tank cards. So the first card for Angel Feather that was revealed was Persistence Angel, which is a grade 1, 8k power. Its skill is Act Rearguard Circle once per turn, cost Soul Blast 1, draw a card, discard a card from your hand, and add up to 1 card with Maluk Malek and its card name from your drop zone to the top of your deck. So it top decks your M&Ms. The second card revealed was Holy Road Angel. It is 9k power, grade 2, skill Auto Vanguard Rearguard when placed. Look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, reveal 1 Maluth Malek, and 1 card with Maluth Malek and its card name from among them and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck, reveal up to 1 normal unit from your hand and put it on the top of your deck. This ability may only be used by a card of the same name once per turn. So it allows you to top deck a card, specifically a normal unit, which is good for the main card. And it also works with the grade 1, allowing you to thin the deck and consistently add it, because the grade 1, yes, it lets you add a card with Malek and its card name to the top of your deck. Now going on with the main card himself, Salaf Ader Sin Maluth Malek. Its skill is, well, it's grade 3, 12k. Skill is Continuous Vanguard Circle during your turn. If you have 2 or more protect markers on your circles, all of your front row units gain power plus 10k. And then continuous, all of your units on rearguard circle with protect marker cannot be retired by any player's card effects. And the main ability that makes him super good is Auto. When revealed for a damage check, if your Vanguard is Arc-Ader Maluth Malek, cost, discard a card from your hand, ride this card as stand. So, what he does essentially is you ride Malek, then you don't activate his ability yet. What you will do is you will call either the grade 1 or the grade 2 to search for a Malek and top deck it, which will be the Shin, my bad. And then you will activate your grade 3 skill to Soul Blast 1, call 2 cards from your drop zone and heal cards, and then you will deal yourself a damage, which will be this card, and then he will Superior Ride. So you will essentially be healing down and not dealing yourself a damage, which is really good. Having played that variant of the deck, another thing is the problem that deck had was retiring its own rear guards was a huge problem. So just the ability to not have to worry about that necessarily anymore as soon as you hit him is very nice. So that was the Friday stream reveal, which pretty good. I think you would still prefer to play Gabrielle, but it gives you another variant, and it also is still pushing towards that idea of Protect 2. All right, going on to the Shadow Paladin reveals, if I can get to it. Okay, first card revealed was Grade 1, Cold-Blooded Witch Lurba. Auto Rearguard Circle, this ability's cost is reduced by Counterblast 1 for each of your opponent's Grade 0 rearguards. When placed, Counterblast 2, put a Grade 2 or greater normal unit from your drop zone on the bottom of your deck and draw a card. So just a generic filter card. Which is, it's kind of weird that it's relying on the Grade 0s in Standard. Because back in the day you would have Forerunners and you would have good Grade 0s with triggers that had skills, but now you don't have that. There might be a couple of Grade 0s every now and again, like I know Nubatama has one, but I mean, how often are you going to play against Nubatama with them having that Grade 0? It's just weird. Then the second card was Grade 2, Witch of Reality Fene. Act Vanguard Circle. Once per turn, costs Soul Blast 1. Your opponent chooses 2 Grade 0 cards from his unit cards from his or her drop zone and calls them to his or her rearguard circles with Grade 1 or greater units. If not even one card was called, this unit gets Drive +1 until end of turn. So in and of itself, riding on the Vanguard Circle is very nice to early game, especially because your opponent will most likely not have Grade 0s unless they Soul Blasted their starter. So you will probably always get that Twin Drive, kind of like the whole Blaster Dark deal, especially if you go first. 9 out of 10 times your opponent's not going to have rear guards, so you always get a Twin Drive. It's the same with this. 9 out of 10 times your opponent's not going to have any Grade 0s in drop, unless if you're rushing them on Grade 1, which you're probably not gonna. But yeah, so it's just really good in and of itself, really good. But the problem is it's also Vanguard Circle only, which does come into play with the next card, but it prevents you from calling it later and trying to get that bonus off of it. So getting into the main card for Shadow Paladin from the set was Mesmerizing Witch Fianna. Obviously Force 13k. Act Vanguard Circle once per turn. Cost Counterblast 1, retire 2 rear guards. Search your hand or deck for up to 1 Witch of Reality Femme. Call it to a front row rear guard circle. And if you searched your deck, shuffle your deck. That circle that called unit is on becomes a Vanguard Circle until end of turn. And then Continuous Vanguard. During your turn, all of your Vanguards gain power plus 5k for each of your opponent's Grade 0 rear guards. So that is very... I want to hesitate and hesitantly say it is very good, because it can only search your deck or your hand to Superior Call Fene, and then when you do that, or Femme, my bad, when you do that, it becomes a Vanguard, so then you get the on-play skill to get at least 10k, because at that point in the game, your opponent's probably going to have rear guards of Grade 0 in their drop zone. So you're probably going to get a plus 10k buff to herself and your rear guard, and then you will get at least 3 drive checks. If they for some reason don't have Grade 0s, then you'll get 4 drive checks. But it is a Gancelot situation. Gancelot was really good for its set, and then afterwards became not good. So that's the problem with this, is it follows suit with that and doesn't do something slightly different, because it just makes your rearguard circle that has her on it a Vanguard Circle, which shuts down your Morfessa, and the support seems to not necessarily mesh with old Shadow Paladin support. It seems to be another one of those things, like a lot of these cards are doing, are becoming their own deck. The only one I think right now that is not its own deck is the Malek one, because it revolves around the name, obviously. But yeah, aside from that, a lot of these cards seem to be making their own deck. The good thing is, though, with this, it's not Luard, so you can play Nemains and Abyssal Owls for free plussing and drawing, but Luard is just so much better, and this is support that's more on par with Mordred and PBO, where it is good in its own right, and it can definitely pop off and hit you when you least expect it and surprise you, but I don't think it's necessarily great or good. I don't know. It's weird, but it's like a good weird and a bad weird because it doesn't mesh with their old support, which is sucky because you would have thought they would have meshed with the old support a little bit, but yeah, no, it doesn't. But so from those two, I think Angel Feather got the best of that one because they definitely got something they can use to more extent. Now going over the new cards that were revealed for Battle Sisters. We'll start off with the Grade 1. Battle Sister, don't know how to say that, Torihas or something like that. Auto, Vanguard, Rearguard, when placed, reveal a top card of your deck. If it is a Battle Sister, you may add it to your hand. This ability may only be used by a card of the same name once per turn. And then Auto, Rearguard, once per turn. During your turn, if you have looked at your deck by a card effect, have this unit gain 5k. So that is a really good ability because it is always going to go off. You will always have a time in the game where you're looking at your top deck cards because it is Oracle Think Tank. That is what they do. The second card that was revealed was Grade 2 Battle Sister, which is Auto, Vanguard, Rearguard, when placed from hand, cost, Counterblast 1, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, call up to 1 card with Battle Sister in its card name from among them to Rearguard circle, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Then Auto, Rearguard, when it attacks, if you looked at your deck by a card's ability this turn, until end of battle, this unit gains power plus 5k, then cost Soul Blast 1 Grade 3, and your opponent cannot call Sentinels from his or her hand to Guardian Circle. So this is actually really good. It has the finisher ability on Rearguard Circle of Sentinel Restrict, which works around the crit Sentinels and the Perfect Guard Sentinels. So that is really good. Then the ability to top deck 3 and Superior Call Battle Sister helps with Fromage on hitting your Battle Sister names. Which, speaking of Fromage, their boss unit for the set, this is for Clan Selection 2, is Battle Sister Fromage. With the continuous Vanguard during your turn, if your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, all of your units with Battle Sister in their card names get power plus 5k. And then Auto, Vanguard, Rearguard, when placed, cost, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, and draw a card. If you have a Vanguard with Battle Sister in its card name, draw a card. So you get a +2 off of that. Then Act, Vanguard, once per turn, cost, discard a card from your hand, look at the same number of cards from the top of your deck as the number of units with Battle Sister in their different card names, and put each card you looked on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So she is phenomenal, especially for an Oracle Think Tank deck, because they have cards that allow them to make your triggers double. They have a bunch of cool different cards. The only issue that this deck runs into is the Battle Sister Reliant, and you have to have different names on board. So you would have to have, it says number of units, so Fromage, Grade 1, Grade 2, and then 3 others, and you get to top 6, put them in any order. You could put your normal units on the bottom of your deck, leave all your triggers on top, or if you desperately need your Battle Sisters and you have draw abilities that can go off, just stack them on top. But it's a free +2 when rode for a single Counterblast and a Soul Blast. So you just +2, and then it gives a generic 10k buff to your columns and a 5k boost to 5k boost to the Vanguard, 5k boost to the booster behind her, so 10k to every single column, and it's just so good. I definitely think that out of the 3 cards, this one was revealed prior, quite a while. We were just waiting on the support cards for it. But out of the 3 that were revealed throughout this week, I would have to put this at the top, and then Angel Feather, and then Shadow Paladin, just because the Shadows seem to not mesh with their current support as much as personally I would like them to, and I know one of our teammates would like them to mesh with as well, because he obviously plays Shadow Paladin. But I also think it's an interesting way to integrate it, and I'm sure with more future support, if they targeted that archetype of making your opponent retire their units and replace them with grade 0s, would be a pretty cool idea, because it would be a new type of control that we haven't seen, which would be interesting to see. But it depends how they would support it, if they're going to, and what Overdress is going to do. That's what a lot of this all falls down to, is what is Overdress going to do? Because a lot of these cards, yes, they are very good if you look at them by themselves, but in the grand scheme of things and how the game is right now with the current meta, they seem to be more a couple sets back than what we are seeing now with current power levels, which is good and bad in its own right, because it is good seeing that they are trying to come out with cards that are more balanced power level wise. It is bad because we already have cards that just are leaps and bounds better than it. For example, Gurguit and Duke. Duke is really good. It allows you to get anywhere from 3 to 5 drive checks. The problem that deck has is very Vanguard centric, whereas Gurguit is, I'm going to swing at you with 8 to 12 attacks, all with 20 plus numbers, which is obviously better than 5 drive checks and a Vanguard centric deck. But there is a scheduled ban list that can come out and say all these cards now are the only playable ones, or all this is no longer good, or however they will do it. But they seem to be doing a more balanced card pool for the clan selection sets, which I think they should have done a while ago, instead of coming out with like Gurguit at hits power level. They should have hit cards prior to it coming out. Same thing with Luard, instead of coming out with that and realizing too late that Nemain was a problem, even though it was mainly the Superior Ride engine, but arguably Nemain hit was a good choice. And just realizing that some of these things they are doing is a bad choice, and they should have been doing this, where everything is on the same power level, and then they take it a step further, everything's on the same power level, take it a step further, everything's on the same power level. That would have been a better way to approach coming out with new sets, and coming out with more support for clans, instead of here's your support, with this next set it's irrelevant, with this next set it's still okay, this support is, but then you come out with this one and it's just bodied by everything else. Play this deck or die. That's where I have a problem with that, and these seem to be backtracking a bit, so hopefully we see more of that, of the course correction throughout the reveals, which we will know for sure with Chaos Breaker, if he's going to lock front row and back row, and just, you know, lock your Vanguard, because fuck it, why not? or if he's going to be balanced and back row lock only, which I personally would love, because it allows Force and Protect decks to still play while still doing what Chaos Breaker did. It just depends. But anyways, that was it from me. Hopefully within the next day or two, I should be able to bring you guys my standard Gurguit deck. It depends on when it comes. There's been a problem with the mail, so a lot of stuff are coming later than what I personally would have liked and what others would have liked. But saying it should be here tomorrow, so I should be able to upload that video for you guys. and I will go in more depth on the Gurgawit topic. So that'll probably be a lengthy video of me talking about my deck, obviously, different choices, and my thoughts on Gurgawit and Golds as a whole right now and what needs to happen. But yeah, that's it from me. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts on the clan selection so far, on if you think Volume 1 is doing a good job so far with support, or if you think it's just doing a subpar job, or do you think Volume 2 is going to be where it's at? Just let me know down in the comments down below, and like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.